Slowly, slowly, as you're going back to the home base, howling with jubilant, the clouds become darker and darker. And the rain and thunder strikes, and you're crazed, and you shoot your sticks and stones as you did earlier with the tiger. And you all begin to charge at the rain and the thunder, and eventually, after about 15 or 20 minutes, the rain stops. And in your mind, it was what you did. Not only did you earlier win with the tiger, just for today, of course, but you also defeated the rain. So you all go in a group, all of you, 20 or 30 of you. You go by the waterfall, and you dance round and round in the primordial night, 3 million BC. Now imagine yourselves now. Let us imagine we're a slightly more advanced group of Australopithecines, upright apes. And we are in the savannah of 2.5 million years ago. And we are carrying these stones. We are carrying these stones. And we use those stones to protect ourselves against the wildcats. But also once in a while to steal the bones and scavenge from them. Anyway, we're taking these stones in the hot sun for 20 or 30 kilometers. 2 or 3 of you. You're hot, and you're delirious. And you realize, when you look at one of the stones, you realize that for some coincidence, or maybe not coincidence, the stone has a face. An ape-like face. Sort of like what happens when you look at the clouds. You have no words. You have no words to describe your emotions. And you're transfixed. And you go, and you place it on a mound. And you dance round and round in the primordial twilight. Your minds becoming higher and higher. 2.6 million BC. I will pass this around. Now, it's 1 million BC. It's 1 million BC. 1 million BC, and you're in a cave. You do not use words, but you communicate in the forms of gestures, dramas, and mimes. You have tools, and you have fire. And you're living in caves, and imagine that you're a 10-year-old child now. You're waiting by the fire for the others to return from the day's events. They have important stories to act out on the primordial stage that is set aside for these purposes every evening. And as you sit waiting, and as the excitement mounts, and as the drums beat louder and louder, your dreams, everybody, your dreams, the contents of your dreams, lions, tigers, your struggles against the crocodiles, the hippos, all spill out on the primordial stage. You become the tigers, you become the lions, you become the crocodiles, you become the wind, the stream, and the rain in the primordial fire, in the primordial night. The forest comes to life as you bow and pray to a pantheon of nature spirits. Let's go, everyone. We have now traced the origins of the performing arts. What about stories, poetry, and metaphorical thought? We rely on stories, poetry, and metaphorical thought to help us think, learn, remember, but it also adds meaning to our lives. Mental images, stories, metaphors add meaning to our existence. Now, we are the linking species, linking different ideas. We, 40,000 years ago, left the concrete world of the here and now and entered the world of language and abstract ideas. We use metaphors, which are based on mental images, to think, learn, remember, and then think in increasingly higher levels. Let me give you a few examples. Mother Earth. Now, to an animal, Mother Earth represents warmth, love, food, and shelter. Our ancestors in the cave could have acted these out into forms of emotional dances and mimes. But we humans, we can label, we can tell stories about Mother. Mother's love. We can talk about how Mother knows best. We can relate how all the animals all come from the Mother. Thus, we and all the animals are spiritually connected. You see, metaphors allow us to think in increasingly higher levels and serve as bridges to, call it what you will, altered states of consciousness, the divine. There's another example, coming home. Coming home, again, to an animal represents warmth, security, shelter. Our ancestors in the cave, without words, could have acted these out in the ways of emotional dances and dramas. But we, again, can discuss, label home. Home is best. Finding the love of our lives is coming home after a long, chaotic search. Or what about a spiritual shelter from a chaotic world? Again, the concept, the metaphor, the mental image of coming home allows us to think in increasingly higher levels. Now, this can be, of course, represented on a spiral staircase. We've been discussing the animal consciousness, the ape consciousness, dance consciousness, drama consciousness, and now we're at the level of human language, where language sharpens thought a great deal, and we're at the level where these metaphors can bring us to different levels of consciousness on different levels of the spiral. In fact, the universe, of course, can be linked from the smallest to the highest on a spiral, so it is a very useful image. Now,